Here we go. Now let's talk about ventilation parameters. Depends where you measure, right? You might have a flow offset for some leakage, intended leakage or unintended leakage. So what happens is when you have your flow offset by a little bit, your whole volumes, which is an integration of flow, are going bad, right? So that's one thing which has to be taken into account and which can be compensated when you use the PF300. I'm going to show you how in a bit more detail. So as soon as you see your inspiratory tidal volume and your expiratory tidal volume become very different, then you can assume that it's an effect like that. You have leakage or you have anything like that. And then you have to compensate that. So it's always a sensitive thing to do. Instead of just looking at one of the tidal volumes, always look at both. And if they are very different, you have to rethink your setup. Or introduce a flow offset compensation, which is possible. And of course, perform the zero offset prior to the measurement. Because if you switch on your PF300 cold, start measuring right away, and then also it warms up and all your offset, all the sensors are getting a little bit of offset, you also receive a flow offset invariably, a few point something liters, and that plays with your measurements. So let it warm up and then perform the zero. So we recommend to let it warm up for 15 minutes at the least, and then disconnect all, the yellow plugs, have no tubes connected, and then you perform the zero. So let me go here. Yeah. I go to the menu, I go to zero, and now it's calibrating all those zero offsets.